a lot of people, they use dream as a synonym of impossible. My parents, they didn't really understand what we were going to do.
Cycling is like being in a bubble and you forget about everything. It's maybe like a kind of meditation. It's like, okay, I have one life, one dream, I have to do it now. We were both students in Spain. We've been working for maybe more than 10 years. We got married. Marco is an English teacher for companies, and I was the manager of a company organizing events, seminars, congresses, and we've been thinking of what do we want to do with our life. And we had that dream of cycling. We have this dream, but it's like, okay, one day I'll do it. Once we went to the cinema, and there was a documentary of a Spanish guy who cycled from Madrid to south of India, and we were like, this is what we want to do.
I never cry in the cinema, but at the end of that documentary film that we watched, I was crying so much. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about
it. No, especially Titanic. Titanic, I was like, just go.
And yeah, one day we said, okay, we need to put a date.
And we said, okay, so I think we're ready. And it was September, and we said, okay, April. But we started really saving as much as possible, selling all unnecessary things that we didn't need.
We decided to quit our job. I was not into cycling like 3 years ago. You wouldn't see me on a bicycle apart from going to work. Said, okay, we have to test if we like the mountains, if we like when it's hot, when it's cold.
We want to go from point A to point B, cycling all the way. We started in Finland, in Helsinki. We took a very quick detour into Russia. Russia was actually the first interesting part of the trip. I think it was really important, Russia, because it actually really opened our mind to accept the fact that we don't actually know anything about the world in general. Went through Poland, Slovakia, Serbia.
You forgot.
Hungary. Sorry, I forgot Hungary.
So
Bulgaria and Greece. Estonia, it's just this huge green campsite, basically.
We have infrastructure along the road and the coast with like chairs and wooden chairs and tables and like a roof.
Yeah,
it's free.
It's
you
free.
can access.
It's open 24 hours a day. There's like barbecues that you can use. In a lot of places, there's even like a hut with wood that you can use to cook with the barbecue. It's really safe.
Traffic is super low, and it makes it very enjoyable to cycle.
They have a couple of nice cities, Tallinn and Parvu. They have some really beautiful islands. Really liked Greece, because we just spent 2 weeks cycling like 20 or 30 kilometers in the morning and then just resting the rest of the day like on a beach. The beaches are empty. I mean, we were there in August, and more often than not we would be alone on the beach. It was super easy to wild camp. It's safe. The day that we entered Turkey, we had I think 5 flat tires in the morning.
Like 5 kilometers from the border, flat tire. Okay, let's change. 2 kilometers, flat tire. And we're like, we're never gonna get to Turkey.
Jokingly, we were saying that Europe doesn't want us to leave. Yeah, we just did it. We don't know what happened. Maybe we were just on like a really dirty road which had a lot of debris, but finally it stopped.
Yeah, we got into Turkey and no more flat tires.
Yeah, we didn't get any flat tires. Yeah.
Grandmother, I think she's one of our big followers.
Yeah, she's always commenting on Facebook and sending messages and asking where we are. Then she Googles the name of the place, and then she gives us feedback. She's like, "Oh wow, you should really visit this," or "This place looks amazing. Don't forget to go there." Similarly to Russia, we had a lot of negative stereotypes, and I remember once we were in Greece in a bar having a coffee, and there was some really nice music, and we said, "Oh, let's enjoy this music because in Turkey the music is probably really bad." And you know, sometimes you think about, you say stuff like that, and you heard it somewhere, or I don't know, but yes. It's not, of course. Music in Turkey is fantastic. It's really nice.
And Turkey happens to be number one of all the countries we visited. People are really nice.
Really nice.
One of the most hospitable we met on our trip. We'll invite you for tea like 20 times a day. You cycle and they say chai chai, which means tea. When we want to pay the bill, they will say, "No, this guy paid for you, but he left." We've been hosted, invited to food. There are a lot of really nice things to see in Turkey. The country is beautiful. You have Istanbul, which is a very eclectic, you say? Yeah, eclectic city. But then like beautiful landscapes, unique in the world. 3 months in Iran. In Iran, you only get 1 month visa, but we could extend it twice.
Very easily.
But Iran, we just knew that it was the perfect destination for bike tours. Yeah, they are even more hospitable than Turkish people.
Because the funny thing about Iranians is that they have a bad reputation, and they know this. So whenever they see a foreigner, they are actually trying to show you that they're not terrorists. And they told us, "Please tell your friends, tell your family that we're not terrorists." And we're like, "Okay." They're nice naturally. They're really, really, really open-hearted. They're really, really, really friendly. But on top of that, they really want to show you that they have a really rich culture and that they have a really beautiful country. I think in Iran we only use the tent maybe like 2 or 3 times.
We would search for like a place to camp or a mosque. They accept people to sleep there.
After like an hour, all the village would know about it. Yeah, and they would just come and say, "No, this is not an appropriate place for a foreign tourist to sleep. Come to my house." Or even before we got to the mosque, either someone on the road would stop you and they would tell you, "I live in the next village, come to my house."
And then like everyone comes to the house to see us. Some amazing experience, like once a family decided to host us, and so we had dinner at their place, and when it was time to go to bed, they left the house. They left us the house and they went somewhere else to sleep. They wanted like to make sure we were okay.
About Turkmenistan, it's a very, very closed country, I mean, politically. We applied for a transit visa. We were actually very lucky because we got it. But it means that you have to cross the whole country in only 5 days. It's a desert, it's a country where it's very hot, it's very famous for its wet headwinds. 530, 550 kilometers.
In 4 days. In this country, they're not supposed to host anyone.
We were really surprised because we hadn't heard any stories of anyone being hosted before. I don't know if people don't talk about it because they don't want to put their hosts in danger, or if it's because they don't actually get hosted.
The first day we didn't get to the kilometers we wanted to, like to the milestone to get, because it was a very muddy road. It rained the night before. It was horrible, and we were stuck in the night.
It was dark. It was pitch dark. I mean, it was a mud road in the middle of the field. Suddenly, just out of nowhere, this car pulls up next to us, and we could speak some words in Russian. And he said something about his farm was just literally like 200 meters after the place where we were.
Really small room so that they can heat it. and they were all inside, and they had a TV from the 80s, and
Yeah.
and they offered us some shots, some vodka,
Yeah.
alcohol. And we know that by the people, it's the way to learn about a country, but we were lucky, and we got hosted twice. I mean, one of the objectives was to go through Tajikistan
To the Pamir Highway.
in Central Asia.
Tajikistan was super nice. It's really difficult to explain why, because when you see the images, it looks like an empty, barren land. But that's actually why it was so beautiful, because there was nothing there, just nature. It's a bit like man against nature.
People in a village told us to be very careful with wolves. We shouldn't camp. That wolves are they're not scared of humans, and if they are hungry, they will attack.
It's not as difficult as it sounds. We tried to camp there as much as possible because it was just so calm. It's almost magical to camp at like 4,200 meters. You spend a lot of time between 3,800 and 4,100, more or less. We saw a lot of yaks. There's a lot of yaks. We only do maybe 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers every day because it's really hard, which means that we only climb about 300 meters or 400 meters every day. So by the time you get to the 3,500, you got used to it. It's still difficult. We were still having difficulties breathing, but at least you're not like sick.
In the video of Tajikistan, we see each other hugging when we're at the top of this road, and even after, we're like, oh my god. Next time we'll talk about the charities.
When you're there and you're giving someone a bicycle, you can really see it. That for them it's really something huge. You're in Pakistan and the police are carrying K-47. Like, ooh, can I hold it? Can I get a picture?